Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 15, Treat and Retreat. So yeah, we just gonna get onto it. This was the episode we've been waiting for the last couple weeks. And I have to say, this episode was crazy. Again, it was another triggering thing for me personally, and it was messy and just wow. I've just at a loss of words. So as we know, like this is the couples retreat, right? We left off last week. Remember, with EKG coming in and give MM divorce papers, and then MM just like didn't let it, tried not to let it get to her and stuff and everything. And then we had this whole situation with Michelle and David's lying and stuff, and Michelle's suspicions on another castmate. So in this episode, we start off basically with Michelle crying because she's feeling like nobody is like listening to her. Like everybody is just like was quick last week to get up from the table and leave from a deep conversation. And Michelle's crying because she feels like everybody's taking David's side and everything, nobody's listening to her. Camille had to actually come and tell her, like, no, we're not taking nobody's side. We wanted to hear what David had to say. That's all that was. And it's nothing personal. We just wanted to hear both sides and everything. We're not trying to downplay it or nothing. So, excuse me, Michelle, and Michelle admit this even on the after party show that she came to this retreat to get some answers. And as I was watching it, and I was part of a watch party watching it, and in my watch party that I was and like we were all saying, there's a time and place for that, and this is just not the time. This is supposed to be a couples retreat, like just enjoy everything, like the last like big celebration before we hit decision day and stuff. So, but Michelle was clearly on a mission. So before we dive into that drama, let's just get the other couples out the way first. So starting with Thomas and Camille, we seen them go into a hot tub and everything, and they had Thomas had asked Camille about kids and everything, and we're just like, oh wow, and everything. They talked about like what do you think about having kids and everything. So they talked about that, shared their the positives and the concerns and stuff and everything. That's all really that was. Next couple was Carla and Juan. They went to like a pottery class and everything, and they had a good time and everything. Just learning how to do the pottery. Juan was showing her how to do things and stuff. And then later we see them sitting on the fire, and Juan was playing the guitar, singing her a song and everything. And, she was into it. They're starting to get a little bit of a connection and everything. So, that was cool to see. And then Madison and Alan, they went on basically go-kart racing. They went racing on some cars and everything. And then they had a conversation about decision day and everything, and how do we get to it and stuff. And Madison just basically lied, and she was just like, like we could try, basically wanting to try and everything, but we all know she ain't trying and stuff. So now that's all. And we did not see EKG in this episode. We seen MM, but MM was just there for moral support for everybody else. Now, okay, the other couples are done. That was all of it. Now let's get into the drama. So, Michelle and David. So Michelle pulls David aside once to finally get to the bottom of it. Okay, who is Tiffany? Because remember, David said that he texted a girl named, that message was for a girl named Tiffany, and he deleted it. So Michelle's trying to, who is Tiffany? And like, I really don't believe you still. And he's just like, Michelle, if you don't believe me, you don't believe me. It's just whatever and everything. Like show me it. Like he was like, I deleted the contact, Michelle, and everything. She was just pressing and pressing. And David was apologizing for lying and doing that and everything. He's like, I'm lying, like, I apologize. Like, if you believe me, you don't believe me, it's on you. And Michelle just kept on. She just kept on going on and on and on and on and on about it and everything. And finally, David's just like, I'm couldn't take it anymore. So all the couples get together and play a game. Who's most likely? One of the questions: who's most likely did they get caught cheating? And everyone said David, except for Thomas. Thomas said itself. He was like, who's more likely to be to be exotic? And they said Carla or whatever. And then everybody's who's most likely to do the couple swap. And every time they asked the questions, I was looking. They always showed Madison taking a drink and everything, just being like cautious, like being. And they said for a couple swaps, and her and EKG are basically done and everything. So while the game is playing on, Michelle pulls Alan to the side and everything and tried to get and asked Alan questions about that night when they were all out with Carla and they all went dancing, whatever, that night when that text message was sent. And so Alan was saying he didn't see anything suspicious or anything. And then ultimately Michelle just I hope I'm wrong about this, and just flat out told him do you think Madison and David have each other's number? They work out together. And then Alan just he was just like, oh, I don't know. I never thought of it. And just and everything. I hope not. I mean, if they have their number, fine, but something going on, he was saying, I hope you're wrong and everything. And Michelle was saying, yeah, I hope I'm wrong too. And these are just my speculations because I feel like Madison is David's type, basically. And, so I don't know. So, she got Alan off guard with that, and Alan's just now getting in his head, rightfully so, and everything. So he's just Alan just takes a minute to process what Michelle just told him. So finally, Michelle goes to Madison. She goes to Madison and says and flat out asks her, was that text message for you? And Madison, she started chuckling and smiling. She was like, what? And Michelle was like, is that for you? And she was like, no, it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. Why would, and everything. I don't know. Why would it be? It shouldn't have been, and stuff and everything. And then when she said it shouldn't have been, then we're like, oh, she's guilty. Oh, well, not guilty right then, but she was like, that was a little suspicious, or it shouldn't have been. Michelle was like, her response should have been oh no, that's crazy. Why would you think that? No, and everything. But she was just like, it shouldn't have been, and everything. So Michelle had asked her have y'all texted each other? And Madison said, yeah, in the beginning, because, we work out together, we go to the gym and stuff, but we don't really text anything, haven't texted anything, since and everything. And Michelle was like, okay. So she went back to talk to David and asked, is there something going on with you and Madison? And David didn't respond. He was just like, no, Michelle, I'm just done with this. If you choose to believe me, you choose to believe me. She's like, well, I don't believe you, and I'm not through with this and everything. And he was just he just wasn't defending it. He was just really drawn, and she just kept on pressing and pressing and pressing. So Then Madison comes back and asks Michelle, like, okay, why is my name being dragged into this? Like, what, like, like, like for real, like, why are you dragging my name into this? Like, what did I do and stuff? And Michelle was like, well, I think you're David's type and everything. And she was like, because I'm blonde and stuff and everything. Like, yeah, and everything. And she was like, your response wasn't like, was a little suspicious. You were like it shouldn't have been and everything. And then Madison's like, well, it wasn't, like, I didn't get no message. And remember, Madison did not get that message. David sent that message to Michelle, you know, and everything. So Madison, and then when he realized he messed up, he didn't do nothing with it. So Madison did not get that message. So like, at that point, you know, Madison at that point is somewhat innocent because she didn't get the message and everything. Even if she ain't innocent at that point, she is. And she told Michelle, you're making me out to be the bad guy and everything. I don't appreciate it. And Michelle was like, okay. And then Madison was like, well, you keep saying okay, like you're not gonna let it go. You're not gonna drop it and everything. And she was like, yeah, well, I don't believe you either and everything. And then Madison's like, okay, if you don't believe me, okay. I guess there's nothing more to be said. So meanwhile, you know, Michelle goes back and starts talking to like Camille and MM and everything, and like just thinking, I just really still think it's Madison. Like, I don't believe David's story, and then now what she is saying and everything and whatnot. So like, so now Alan is just still like what the heck? Like, he's just now in his head, like, Madison tries to talk to Alan, and he didn't want to talk, and he was just laying on the bed. And then here comes the part that we all been waiting for. Madison knocks on. It's like 10:30 at night. Madison knocks on David's door and wakes him up. And she was like, "Can we talk?" And he was like, "Man, you woke me up for what?" And everything. And so they go to a room together, and Madison says, like, you know, Michelle and I just talked and everything, and she's suspecting something with us, basically. And then, like, you know, Madison flat out admitted something that we kind of knew, but now we just wanted to hear from the source. Madison basically said that she really likes David. She says she really likes David more than she should. She used the term, I really love our gym dates. Gym dates. She said gym dates and everything. She's like, I can't keep like stringing Alan along and stuff and everything. Like even like if we pursue this and everything, it doesn't have to be something right away and everything, but like, I really like you and stuff. And then David's just like, oh my God, oh wow. I feel this, basically I feel the same way, like, because you basically know me more than my wife. Like, you ask me more the questions that my wife should be asking me, everything and everything. He basically said, I really like you too and everything. But now let's get this out of the way. Have you told this to Alan? And Madison was like, no. And he was like, well, you know, that has to be our first step, because realistically, you know, this is not fair to Alan or Michelle. And he is right. It's not fair to either one of them and stuff. And then, you know, they just talked about like what they want. And like, David said that, you know, I do think this could be something. And then, like, you know, I actually do want it to be something. And Madison was like, the start of a love story. A love story. And then here's another point that we were finally waiting for. David finally admits that text message, it really was supposed to go to you. And she was like, why? I didn't get it. And he was like, well, no crap, because I sent it to my wife and everything. And she was just like, wow, you know, and everything. So they closed out the conversation with a hug. And, you know, the first thing they got to do now is just flat out tell Alan. And so David had to be the one to tell Alan. And David and Alan, and I thought they said this on the after show. I think Juan said it on the after show. David and Alan are best, like, we're really good friends, like, and everything. They, like, were buds and stuff. So David goes and pulls Alan to the side. They go outside by the fire and talk. And David told Alan that me and Madison have a connection. She knows more about me than my wife does. And Alan's just like trying to really hold it in, like he really wants to just pop up, but he's just trying to be civil about it and everything. So he's just like, did you F her? And he's like, no, it's all platonic and everything. Her and I are in the same boat. We're not getting what we want in our marriage, and I feel bad. And David was like, I feel bad about this, and like, this is effed up and everything. And Alan asked them, like, do you really think you see yourself in Madison? And David was like, I'll be honest with you, 100% yes, no BS aside. And then Alan was like, well, F her and F you. And he was like, okay, F me all you want, but F her. Like, and he started trying to, like, defend Madison, too. So when he started to defend Madison about that, and he was saying that, dude, Madison was trying, bro. She was trying every time we would talk. Like, it was always about you and everything. And Alan's is like, she, F her, because she tried to change me, just like last week, like when they went to the store to get like Alan to change his wardrobe. She is trying to change him and everything. And he is like meeting her halfway and stuff and trying to change himself for her. And she's not meeting halfway. She's just not into him and everything. So Alan was just like, F her and F you. He gets up and everything. He packs his bags and like he wanted to like leave. He was already drinking. We were trying to like, no, you're not leaving drunk. He's like, I'm not gonna drive. I'm not that stupid. So Juan and MM went after Alan to check on him, to calm him down and stuff and everything. And they talk to him and he goes, packs up and stuff, and then starts like kicking the walls and punching walls and everything. Madison kind of sees him from a glance. He did not want to talk to Madison. Alan's just like, I don't want to see her. I'm not going to disrespect her, but I don't want to see her right now. I really don't. So he packs up and he leaves. I think one of the producers took him back home and stuff and everything. And now what's left is like, Michelle was just like, Alan, whenever you calm down, if you want to talk, we can talk and stuff and everything. And he was like, you were right, but I don't want to get into that right now and everything. And, I'll give my opinion on all of this, like when I'm done with this, when I'm done with the recap. So then after Alan leaves, David walks past Michelle, and Michelle was just like, okay, David, anything you got to say to me right now? And she was like, he was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, sorry for what? And he was like, sorry for lying. What you lie about? The text message, the food, and everything. Overall, it is all for Madison and everything. She was asking me way more questions than you were. I was getting more from her than I ever did from you and everything. And, I didn't do this maliciously to hurt you or anything. It just happened and everything. And she was like, oh, after you hurt me, go hook up with my friend, I guess, and everything. And, then we left off on a cliffhanger. Michelle knocks on Madison's door. She was like, anything you want to say now? Madison was like, are you going to come in guns blazing, or you want to have a conversation? And Michelle was like, I'm a little pissed. She was like, okay, do you want to have a conversation about it? And Michelle was like, let's go. And then Madison puts her hands up like this, like, and we left off with the cliffhanger on that. So, oh my goodness. I only felt bad for Alan in this episode. Like, in a tiny bit Michelle. I'm more mad at Madison more than anything. And it's like of course I'm mad at David too. Like, but I'm more irritated with Michelle. I mean with Madison, and I more felt bad for Alan. I'll start with Alan. Alan had no idea. He's a little naive, but he had no idea, and that's fair enough. That's all of that was just not fair to him. And I think Michelle like really did that, like told him at the wrong place, the wrong time. Like I said in the beginning, this is a couples retreat. He should have not. She should have not done that right then and there. Did it need to be done? Yes, but not there. And Madison and Allen just had a nice day at the racing each other and having fun, talking about decision day to get to that point and everything, and and then that happens. Then, but I'll give Michelle this: all her speculations were true because she kept on saying, "I don't want to be crazy to think all of this because if I'm gonna feel bad if I am." But she was right about everything. But Michelle really did not let it go. And I keep saying this though, realistically, Michelle doesn't really care. Hold on a second, guys. I have to check something. All right, there's nothing. I'm sorry, guys. But realistically, Michelle did not really care. She's just making it act like she cares just because so she don't look bad the entire time. So she looked bad the whole season and everything. That's why she made it a big fuss about this. And it's not right for what David did, like emotionally cheating, and like the thought of sending an inappropriate message to another girl and stuff. But he really wasn't getting what he wanted out of the marriage. No excuse, but like I said last week, we see why he did what he did. So but Alan, man, it just felt like his whole world just ended. Like, and I've been in Alan's shoes, and I had an opportunity to tell like my story with that, but I decided not to. I'm not going to expose anything that I personally went through, just in case a certain people would see that and it caused me a lot of problems. But like, if anybody wants to know my story, I'll just DM me on Instagram with Nathan Tempton, and I'll tell you my story with that. I felt Alan's pain, and when I was watching it in the watch party, like I actually got teared up, and a couple people else actually got teared up. Even as a man who's been in Alan's shoes, like that was triggering. That was really triggering. Like Alan did not deserve any of that, and he's the one who's hurt out of this the most. And like he deserves so much better than Madison, so much better. And a couple of weeks ago, I said Madison was the best looking girl on the cast, which I agree. And somebody commented and said, no, Camille is, and everything, blah blah blah. Well, we have a difference in opinion with that, but I feel like Madison may be the best looking, but Madison's also maybe one of the worst in the personality department for doing what she did, because you're stringing a good guy. Alan is a great guy. He's cooking for everybody, trying to make friends with everybody, changing himself for his wife and everything. And she's just gonna just go to another dude like that. That's just not cool. And then as for David is a horrible liar. I'm just like, it's one thing to lie, it's bad to lie, but he is a horrible liar. Like, I mean, we went from cousin's food, to a random girl named Tiffany, to finally Madison. Like, what are we doing here? Like, for real, David is a horrible liar. And I'm just like, bro, like, and if you're feeling Madison, that's fine, but like, be honest. And someone had mentioned, like, like they could at least waited till after decision day to get together and do this, but no, they have to do that right now, ruin everybody's trip and everything. And so yeah, I do feel bad for Michelle, like, because she was lied to and stuff. But you know, that's only just, I feel bad because she was lied to. Everything else, I don't feel too bad about, because she was so mean to David throughout the season, and that's why David did what he did. No excuse for doing it, David. And like, like I said, I was on David's side all season up until this point and everything. You know, when you do, like, someone who already can't stand you as it is, and then you do something just this drastic, now they really can't stand you and stuff and everything. It's just, when someone can't stand you like that, you got to really prove them wrong. You can't give them any other reasons to make them not like you anymore. The best revenge on somebody is success. So, like, what would have been beneficial for David to handle the situation with Michelle was just like, okay, you don't really like me because you really think I'm a bum, and I do my own thing. I live in my parents' basement, whatever. Like, okay, you don't want to be with me. Okay, best thing I can do is get myself together, get out of my parents' basement, and live my best life. And then I'm going to be living my best life and be bragging about it. And then if you want me back, it ain't going to happen because you had your chance and you didn't believe in me. So that's what David really should have done and everything. And on top of that, but, Madison, and I don't even know why Madison, like, did what he did. She did what she did, but, like, she basically has more feelings for David than she did with Alan. So yeah, it was a very intense, emotional episode last night. That was the most emotional episode of Married at First Sight I've ever seen, and I couldn't wait to do this recap. But whew, but wow, again, that was triggering. I felt so bad for Alan. Like, he did not deserve that from all three of them, really, from Michelle, from David, and of course Madison. And the thing is, Madison, when he was like, when Alan was like kicking stuff and throwing stuff and leaving, like, at least, like, she didn't care enough to, like, I mean, I know she probably might have felt scared in that moment and everything, but I would have gone after him. I would have been like, Alan, could at least just talk. Let's just talk a little bit. Can we talk about this? Can we please talk? Can we, like, I'm sorry, something like, I'm sorry, but she just let him go and stuff and everything. And like, and that just showed right there that she really doesn't care about Alan. She really don't, and everything. And so judging by the previews of next week, it looks like Madison and David are going to meet with the experts and the experts are trying to figure all this out and everything. We've seen Alan; he's about to burn everything, burn his vows, burn her pictures, and everything, because he's just like, I'm done with this. You know what, and everything. And so, yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're almost at decision day. And it's just, but this whole thing is not over. I'm curious to see what the next conversation with Michelle and Madison is going to be about and everything. And everybody was just like, you know what? Madison, like, we were saying in the watch party, like, when people were saying, if they were Michelle, like, if they were Michelle, she would be whooping Madison's butt right now. And if I were Alan, like it was like, if Alan should be whooping Madison's butt verbally, and Michelle should be whooping Madison's butt physically, basically off of after all of that. Because they all, Michelle, I mean, Madison and David are both liars, and terrible liars at that. So, so that whole situation, it was it was good TV. It was really good TV, I will admit. But at the end of the day, these are people's real true feelings, and these scandals are just not a good look. And again, I feel for Alan. My heart goes out to him. I really felt bad for him. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. Yeah. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on next Monday and Tuesday to recap the season premiere of 90 Day Fiance. So until then, please watch this video, share it with a friend, like and subscribe. And if y'all want to DM me, tell me my story. My Instagram DM is the same as it is here on the YouTube Nathan Temp 2. So y'all want to hear my story, just let me know. And until then, I will see y'all again next week. Bye, y'all.